Okay, and good morning, everybody. It is 5 minutes to the open, and we have our four stocks pulled up, and it looks like we've already had a long entry on Jade this morning for Meta, which obviously it's going to be back more than our 3 candle minimum that we're looking for. But still interesting to watch how that's going to work. Over here we're going to be, since it's the 19th, and that was on Amazon, we're going to go ahead and log a one trade that we could not take. What this does is kind of helps the record when I go back and research or study these days and I see a trade on there, I'll know to be looking for a trade that you couldn't take, or if I see one, I'll be like, did I see that trade that morning? Like, it's kind of a double check back on the bot to be like, did it throw that signal or did it not? So anyway, that's what that is. Go ahead and swap back over here. I heard another one. Looks like Neo. Now Neo is really close. I mean, we are at 4 minutes to the open, and it just threw a signal up. Really nice to see two different signals up. That could be a nice push on the market this morning. Look at that big green bar right there. Pulling back. Technically it can go all the way back to this stop loss line, so once it tries to break and go up that direction, you always get that, or it's possible to get quite a bit of pullback. Looking back on the morning, it's not like we've had any sort of real direction unless you count this big tank off right here as direction, so it's really been kind of buzzing sideways. I would say overall its direction is down. So this is probably a fake out this morning. That up push. Like a little confusion. Look at that. There we go. So Meta has thrown 2 now. This one's much closer to the open. So we'll actually get an opening trade here this morning. Very exciting. Okay. So I'll just make sure everything's set up, ready to go. I think it's good. Now remember, I can't take the first candle. So the first candle is going to do its own thing, and I'll try to sneak an entry in close to this. I'm going to try to sneak an entry in as close to this pullback line as possible for a trade going down. So we're going to try to short it somewhere back here, which I'm reckoning it'll go back quite a bit. Had another entry here, AMD. Right there. Look at that. Man, we are hopping this morning. Okay, so now I have 2 to watch for this morning. This one going up on Neo, probably not going to be a thing. It is right outside the 4-minute one. I don't know which one of these is going to be more powerful, but sometime in the first minute I have to take a trade on AMD going down and Meta actually going down. Both of these. So just waiting. Seconds are counting down in 5, 4, 2, 1. Like I said, we're looking for some pullback here. There's a pullback on that one. I'm going to go ahead and take that one there. this one. Dangerous to pull a stop loss that, or to take the trade that early, obviously, for obvious reasons. Go ahead and take this one as well. Keep in mind, this up here, I have actually made a grave error on this one, and I do not know how to handle it, but I'm ready to pull the plug. Prepared to pull the plug on that one. Ugh. Okay. Currently, pulled the plug on that one. So I made an error in taking the trade in the first candle. Remember, I told you cannot take the trade in the first candle. I am going to pull the plug on this one too. Even though they may actually do what they're supposed to do, actually I cannot take it unless it pulls below the stop loss line and holds. So did set myself up for failure by starting those. We shall find out how much that was. Which one was that? Long entry for Neo. Okay. I see they're actually pushing the other direction. So that's one of the reasons why you do not take a trade that early. You have to see what it's going to do. If it pulls back above the stop loss line, then you have to escape. Now look at this Amazon down here, or AMD. Looks like it's actually holding. We're going to go ahead and take this one. And the reason I say we can take it is because we can put an accurate stop loss line in now on the right line. And we can also put in an accurate profit line down here. See what we can get. So that one's actually running now. Now you see this was a better trade. So taking that one during the first minute candle is not a thing. Now here we go, we're getting a run in here. Nope, wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. Okay, so this one through. Now this one's, it looks like Meta is trying to come back down below the line. And Jade's trying to throw something on Amazon. I'm getting a clean move. Look at that clean move on AMD. Man, that's so nice. Too bad we didn't already screw up our morning. My rules were a little vague. If you had seen this morning, my rules were a little vague on an opening 1 minute trade. I definitely was not supposed to take a trade in the first candle, but how to react to that was difficult to know how to react. I'm going to bump up here to my break-even point. I didn't really know how to react to it going, when to get in, when not to get in, and so that was something that I should have had clarified already, and I did not have that clarified. So you can see there's rules that have to be rules. You have to put rules in place for everything, because in the heat of the moment, you're not going to know what to do, and you end up making bad decisions when you do that. Bad decisions cost you money. You have to be on the right track ahead of time. One of the things right now I'm looking at, 97.69. This is saying it's going to break right through the $half mark at 98. which would be great, by the way. Go all the way down here. It's really super clean movement. That can be good and bad. So we've gotten about at a halfway point there, so we finally can secure actual money. Not much, but we can secure a little. You really have to be careful about securing money too early, because what we need is for it to go down here and make the 216. You know, I'm not really interested in making $20.50 on that. This right here, you know, is a pullback sign, or could be a reversal. But you know, just keeping in mind that really all we need is for it to bump it. We just need it to bump down here, and then it can go on with its bad self anywhere it wants to. So we got some pullback here at the dollar line, 97.99. So usually at your $half points, you'll see some pullback. It is to be had like that. Not really interested in what's happening right here. I really want down motion. That's that's terrible. Going back up and testing the white line. It's always scary. I'll tell you, the scary part about this is that you won't get this. When you're doing these trades, you think, well, I mean, you're not going to lose money on this. Well, the concept is not to lose money or whatever. The concept is to run a successful trade or get successful trades. And my successful trades involve me getting in right up here and getting out down here. So anywhere in between, in my mind, is an unsuccessful trade. This being a less than terrible, obviously, if you don't lose money on it, it's less than terrible. But right now, you're at $100 profit. You know, it would be easy to be like, hey, let's take this before it comes up and kicks you out and all that. So, yeah, I mean, okay, what was that? That was meta. I'm actually going to back this up a little tighter so I can watch meta. Meta is throwing an entry, and I got 25 seconds on the confirmation. Now this is interesting, because remember, we almost took this one going up here, or we did take this one, sadly. I didn't want to have to say that out loud. But we did take this one. Now it's trying to do this again, which is a good concept for us. Just looking at the SPY, it looks like the SPY is just tanking off here. Okay, so we're waiting for a little pullback here. Maybe get a nice entry there. I'm going to go ahead and take it. So we did get a really clean entry on that one. I'm going to go ahead and expand and pull the stop loss into place. I'm going to back the stop loss up just a hair. Now, one of the reasons I can do that is because I did get an excellent entry on this one. And go down, put this. You can tell at what kind of level you got your entry. Normally, these are $200 trades. So this one right here, doing 218 at that profit point, means that I got about an $18 push on a better entry here. So anyway, looks like AMD is still doing its thing very nicely. It is trying to pull back though. Not happy about that. Not happy about that at all. It happens. You know, this consolidation or whatever happens before um, pullbacks and for before drop offs. So, I mean, it could totally go either direction. I really have no way of truly knowing what it's going to do. This early in the morning, it could come back up here. You know, none of these lines mean anything. That VWAP line means a lot. So it could totally come up here and touch that VWAP line with no problem. Um, oh man, look at that. Meta is actually going for the gold here. I am going to tighten up the stop a little bit. Not by much because, you know, like I said, the VWAP line and stuff is still up here in my stop loss. So stock's doing a little pullback and touching the VWAP line happens quite a bit. And you really don't want to get kicked out when it's doing a long drop. So I like the fact that the SPY is throwing a nice drop here as well. We really need the SPY to tank. And Amazon's tanking too. Come on. Oh, we are so close to winning down here. It's not even funny. And we got Meta to pull through that. So we can actually come up here to break even at least. Oh, man. Stock trading is a lot of anxiety. I mean, it's definitely a thing. I am going to back this one up a little bit. You see, my fear is in, you know it's going to drop, but you don't know how much of a little pushback you're going to get before it does its drop, is what you don't know. So, you certainly don't want to get kicked out before it makes money. This one right here, now, one of the things about this that I recently learned was that if a stock is this close to winning, you certainly don't want to go broke on this one. I like the 1% as much as the next guy, but I do not want to go broke on a stock that has produced that kind of revenue. Come on, Betsy, push. 982, 97.80. Oh, you know you want to. Now it's just being cruel. That's all that's happening. It's just being cruel. You're just being, it's not what you want to do. That's not it. That's not what you want to do. Look at me. Now I want to move my take profit up. Now I want to move my take profit up. That's what I want to do. Come on. Man. Oh, look at me tightening up. Oh, my word. Oh, the pressure is so strong. Good night, 194.50. Oh, I'm taking it. I'm out. You handle that nonsense. Come on now. Okay, so now we'll watch it do its complete thing. Obviously, it's going to. It's not big a deal. The pressure is really strong when it gets that close. You want to actually produce, but see, my goal is to do about to do 200 on that trade. It was very close to 200. Obviously, I bounced out early, so you guys can brag about how you would have done better. And actually, after it blasts through this line here in a minute, you're going to all be like, why didn't he wait? See? There we go. You guys can't talk to me like that. Ah, look at it, hitting it nicely, and then, oh my word. I just couldn't hold out. I mean, man. Okay. Alright, so now we're working meta up here, and you can see it's tickling around there, not really doing anything. We need it to go down another level, which it does look like it's had kind of a very tiny pullback here. Volume is completely below average, which means we could get some erratic movement out of this. Not really excited about that. It's right there at that line. It is trying to drop again. Pull this one up here to break even. So, we get to go over and mark on here. That was AMD. To mark AMD, pulling in a nice profit right there. Very good. Okay. Meta is trying to perform. Come on, Meta. You got this. Two nice trades for the day would be great after the week that I've had here. Look at AMD totally successfully making it. I mean, I just tell you, it's difficult. There was no reason for me to sell out early on that. But if you guys ever had a stock come down and hover over your percentage line and go all the way back up, which it wasn't even going to go all the way back up, but if you've ever had it do that, hover over it and not quite hit it, you know, you'll know the pressure that I was feeling. So, but you know, these lines have been carefully adjusted. There's no reason for me to believe it wasn't going to hit that line. But anyway, there you go. So this one is hovering on, or it's putting a lot of pressure on this line right here. I'd like for it to break down through here. It's really not giving me. I don't like what it's doing. Come on, break. We got a little lower. That's good. Because not much, but it's a little lower. You need it to set some nice new lows. I mean, obviously, if you look at the SPY's got a huge drop, and AMD is dropping, and Amazon's dropping, and NEO's dropping. Everything is, you know, showing a lot of red. So, there's not a lot of pushback happening in the market right now, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with it. You can hear me. I'm fine with it. Wants to do it. Come on now. And you're still all this volume. I mean, that's the standard right there, that blue line. All this volume is way below. On that, we could see a massive volume spike here soon. This is this angle right here, if you were trading patterns, This pattern right here is a solid down pattern for that. It's you get these huge red candles right after this kind of, it's kind of like a down angle with, and maybe I can kind of draw it here for you, but it kind of looks like this, and then it has a flat bottom, which is kind of like right in there. So yeah, you can see it usually will do this thing and then chink, it'll drop down. What's weird is because, or I tell you, not weird, but if you think about the bot itself predicting a drop and then you seeing patterns like this during the drop, um, they kind of help you confirm what you're doing, or confirm a drop, or confirm the direction that you're going. A lot of traders trade different patterns like this to get drops like that. So you can see it's moving in, it's getting close to it. It does the next one. That's probably where they would have taken the trade and then work for a drop. And they pull lines. A lot of traders pull lines on $half marks, which you can see this one pulling 170.02, and it went all the way down to 158 or 156. So you get this massive pullback right here because some traders shorted, and then they went down to the $half mark, and then they had to sell their shorts basically. And when they did that, that's what gave you that spike back up there. So somebody got in, nice little trade right there. So didn't help us out much. Jade works longer trends, so it's not really pulling short-term stuff, like that. You can kind of see another one right here. It isn't as good though because this has a pullback up, but it kind of has this flat bottom going on, and then the pullback down. So this trade's going a little bit longer than I like. Obviously, this thing is, these always scare me because they could be the sign of the bottom, but like I said, it probably was that triangle, sharp clear triangle pattern we just seen that caused this thing. But one of the things I'm going to do, I really do not want to sell myself short on this particular trade either, it being the end of the week. And of course I'm making excuses, but it being the end of the week, I want to make sure I end as close to the green as possible. I say that like I can excuse the fact that I'm almost violating my strategy a little bit because of the pain I do not want to feel, but we're going to pretend like that doesn't exist for now. And we could still get the drop here where it's not like you can't. And see, it's trying to pull back up, and it could go back up and touch that line right there. I really want it to hold. I don't want it to jump up there, and I really should back this stop up above that line. But if it would just drop here like it's supposed to, ain't got no gas. Look at this downtrend here. There ain't no power in any of that right there. Come on, let's go down. Down. I know, AMD hit the line and is going further. I'm well aware of that. Thank you for bringing up that painful memory. The good news is that the bot accurately predicted the move. That's all we need to care about. Okay? That's what the real success here is. Not Anything you guys are mumbling about? You're telling me you want to be okay with $63 when you could do $101, $104. That's what you'd be okay with. Well, yeah, you'd be okay with that versus what, 218. You know, we needed to get down here to 218. And with this flat line, and then it come down, now we're flatlining again. Obviously, we're going to get some sort of more drop out of this. Look at the SPY. I mean, look at the SPY, people. It's still doing, look at this down massive. Yeah. We're plenty on the right track. We were on the right track on AMD too. I know. I heard you the first time. Yes, and as well, it is a flat line across there, and it's kind of got this little arch drop. I'm thinking it's kind of found some support here, but if you see, you know, this little tiny line is holding so much strength right here. I can't help but think, even though it's pushing on the line a lot, I mean, this line is a weak line at best. Should easily been able to break it. It not being able to break it is kind of what gives me a little bit of confidence. And there, it broke it. So yeah, okay, fine. It broke it. That's what I was telling you. It's weird that it would put that much pressure and not actually break it. But, you know, it did get a little bit of volume there. And it's going to try to go back up to the SPY. It's just, or not the SPY. It's going to go back up to the VWAP up there is what it's going to try to do. So we're going to end up getting kicked out at $63.84. Yeah, the Neo would have been a nice trade. So you got Jade right there, but the problem is Jade called it going up. It did not call it going down. So there's no way we could have gotten in on that one, even though Neo's pulling a nice move. I know. I see what Meta is doing. Look at that. Doing a little pretend cross, which in the past, these trades right here, people try to jump in on these for them to go up, and then usually they tank down. But you see, now I'm in a down trade, so now it's gonna miraculously go up, because today's a day of opposite miracles, right? I mean, that's what we need. Look at that. Opposite miracle, and oh, and we're out. Rats. I know. It's terrible. Well, it's not like we didn't make money on it. I understand that, but it was supposed to do the full move. I mean, that's what was supposed to happen. Supposed to do the full move. And I mean, yeah, it could totally go back down. Absolutely. We're looking at Meta, and see, we have to mark Meta as a break-even trade regardless of the money that was made on that one. I also need to mark Neo as a can't take. So we did have a trade there, but we couldn't take it. Now, in the study, you have to mark this as a can't take, and can't take trades are for where the rules actually tell you you couldn't take the trade is what's happening. So the rules specify I have to wait for 3 candles. This one happened on the 4th one. So I couldn't, because it's 4 candles away from the open, I couldn't take that one. So I had to mark that down as a can't take. And then Meta this morning throwing one what did I do? That's a can't take, but that's on the 18th. Let's that's this one. And then Meta threw a can't take trade as well. Yeah, I know Meta is tanking off and successfully going to hit the mark. I understand that. I know. Don't remind me. Meta and Neo. Now, Meta threw a total loss trade at the beginning today. Nope, that's not Meta. Meta threw a total loss trade right there. AMD throwing where did I put that profit? Oh, and now I'm going to have to back up. Look at me messing up. AMD. Redo. AMD. No, that's what the problem was right there. AMD did throw one, but it was on Friday. So it did throw a successful one. Neo threw a can't take one. Take one. And Meta threw a one can't take. It threw one total loss. And it threw one break even. I know, yeah. In theory, on Meta, so on Meta here, I actually have to wait before I can fully cancel out this or call Meta throwing a break-even trade, even though I got out at more of a break-even point. It has to not hit this point and come up and break the yellow line. So I know it's terrible, my thinking, but the strategy calls for you waiting for this line and holding at this break-even point. Now I pulled down here and ended up getting kicked out because I wanted to secure $63 apparently. But this concept right here, you're supposed to wait until it gets there and hold at the break-even point. So anyway, just finishing up my calculations. So Meta threw 3 trades, and I got 3 log for Meta. AMD threw 1. Neo threw 1 can't take. Amazon, I have Amazon marked as a can't take trade, and it had nothing. What did Amazon do yesterday? Because I don't have anything marked for Amazon yesterday. That was at 9:05. Remember that trade yesterday, but it was a break-even trade on Amazon yesterday, and then today Amazon had, what in the world did I do? Oh, it kicked me out. I remember. Because it took it, but then went up. Man, I don't know what happened there. I was looking for short entry on Amazon at 8:34. I'm not actually sure what took place there. Maybe this was, I'll have to go back and look at the video. I think this might have been on a 5-minute candle. It made me miss an Amazon trade going that direction. Man. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go with one there. Okay, so I got all the logs done, I believe. It's terrible that I wasn't able to get a good move on Neo. If you look at the thing for this week, it threw one good first profit on Wednesday, but I actually missed that one when it happened. It's sad to say. No matter how many tools you have, you know, you're always a factor. Like, you are the factor in that. You gotta eliminate the human factor from your trading. See, Meta doing all this stuff right here. It's trying to climb a bullish ladder here and go up, but I'm gonna have to look at this by this afternoon. I mean, literally, it's the whole day. Jade doesn't care whether or not you wanted to get out early or not. Jade just stay in here until it hit that line. And it doesn't matter how clear you think things are. It's never clear when you're actually doing it. Anyway, well, I think that's going to do it for me today. I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. It's 9:07. There is a couple of minutes for it to actually throw another trade. But as sloppy as the market is, probably not going to see anything in the next 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. And I will do some recap this afternoon. And don't forget to join us for the weekend recaps and studies of these particular bots, how their performance was this week compared to the previous 3 weeks, and to establish new ideas or parameters on what these things can actually do. And don't forget, we're actually studying the Jade Bot as well. That's a really nice trade. It makes some really nice percentage moves on some of the meme stocks, which could be really exciting. So anyway, don't forget that, and you guys have a nice day.